So if you appreciate my concise, light-hearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, hopefully I've earned your subscription and you'll subscribe to Decoy Voice.
His name is Decoy Voice. He has 22,000 subs right now. This man deserves hundreds of thousands.
His name is Decoy Voice, my friends, of 26,000 subscribers. So he's got some good stuff going on.
And y'all make sure y'all go check out Decoy Voice. That dude is amazing, man.
Decoy Voice is in the chat. Yo, what's up, man? We're gonna get him on the show sometime.
There's a channel called Decoy Voice, which is like a great political channel.
This video comes from Decoy Voice. Like his stuff. Let's check it out.
Decoy Voice 75만 5천.
This YouTuber is called Decoy Voice.
Thank you. I love this guy. Holy f***, I love this guy.
元の名前が Decoy っていうので
So guys, check out Decoy Voice. He's a pretty funny dude.
So almost 5 years to the day from our first upload, we finally arrived at that 1 million subscriber mark, which honestly feels equal parts significant and insignificant, as nothing really changes on the channel side, as I'm still gonna be the same regular guy, with maybe a few minor cosmetic procedures so I can finally be that K-pop 4D Decoy live experience and really expand my audience. Or maybe it'll stay the same concise, light-hearted commentary I started in the corner of my kitchen in a tiny LA apartment that somehow spread across the globe to millions of you, finally proving you don't need news network backing, fancy college degrees, or literally anything to validate your perspective. As long as you tell the truth, people will want to listen to you. So this 1 million subscriber milestone shouldn't be about me, but everybody watching at home, as a fact that there's over 1 million of you that would want to watch this low-budget, bootleg Sub-Zero talking like Christopher Walken news commentary that's more like slam poetry, just tells the mainstream media that in the war of information, they are losing. So let's just do a brief Q&A to answer everything you wanted to know about everything you didn't know you needed to know about. As the Google autofill about Decoy Voice has always had real name at the very top, and I am someone with a bit of a murky origin story, not only on the internet, but to myself as well. So I managed to dig up some birth documents all the way from a foster agency in Korea to find Decoy Voice's original real name is Misin Go Nam Ja II, which is kinda cool to finally discover this alongside you guys, but it did seem like a super long name for a Korean when they're typically like 3 syllables, Pak Soo-won or Lee Ji-yoon. So what does that name translate? Unclaimed baby boy number 2. And that's something I definitely could have gone not knowing, but thank you Google search suggestions. I'd go to the second or third search results, but honestly why subject myself to what the deep left pockets of the internet wants to know about me? So let's just fast forward to the channel member submitted questions and whatever was asked over on my Instagram account at DecoyBTS. As a lot of it was from longtime subscribers like the super moderator, Maybe Sunshine, congratulating us on 1 million subscribers, people that have been around since 200,000 and even 50,000 subscribers, people that have been paying channel members for over a year, but also wondering if I'd ever been recognized in real life. As honestly it's a lot now, where I would say I have a distinct appearance, but an even more unique voice. And even early on my YouTube career, I remember being at a Halloween event in a very dimly lit bar where the employee recognized me by my voice alone. And it's always cool to randomly meet people that watch the show in the real world, so if you ever see me around, don't be shy to say hi. But not every Asian person you see is Decoy Voice. It's always funny if I go to a theme park or a sports game and I'll get a handful of emails from people saying, "Hey, did I see you at that thing?" And I'll reply, "Yeah, you should have said hi." But I also randomly get emails of, "Hey, did I see you in insert random city or event that I've never been to?" So no, that's just because you can't tell us apart. But it always makes me wonder, was that discount Decoy Voice like a 6'5" muscular male model looking dude? Or was it something more stereotypical? As that mistake makes more of a statement about you than me. So yes, if you see me in real life, say hi. Just be right. with another question being about, have you ever experienced bad reactions to my work? And yes, especially since I covered those anti-ICE riots in Los Angeles, that's probably when I got peak levels of anti-Asian sentiments in my inbox, as it's always been a thing. People don't like what I have to say online, so instead of refuting my talking points with facts, they just want to make it about my perceived ethnicity. But one, I worked in jobs all across Los Angeles where I was arresting at best incredibly aggressive individuals and at worst incredibly unclean criminals. So the internet threats never really registered with me. I just remember one specific guy on Instagram where he had all sorts of colorful things to send me, all from the perceived safety of his anonymous account, except he had a very public account attached to it, which gave all the specifics to his very sad life, and I just ended up feeling bad for the guy. So whenever you see angry messages online, just imagine the average Reddit moderator on the other end, as that's likely who's sending it. Now, I did get a lot of questions about live streams, saying they miss wearing their tinfoil beanie while listening, as this is something that I do genuinely regret, so I do want to say sorry for not live streaming as much as I should have, as it is the best way to connect with you guys, but I am a one-man operation, and hiring out always felt like my video quality would change. Then having regularly scheduled live streams makes the frequency of regular video releases decrease. So I promise in the future I'll be more active over on the livestream channel at decafdecoy, so subscribe over there if you want to see the replays, as I'll probably record them on this channel and then re-upload with clips over there. I'm still not certain on the strategy, as I do want to address this super chat from Tuna Sandwich saying his father always watched my videos, even saving some of them offline. He just passed away and sadly wasn't able to watch this Alligator Alcatraz episode, and he just wanted me to know they really appreciate the work and hope we keep on going, and if you could, please shout out Rick. So hey Rick, thanks for watching. I'm really glad you appreciated my concise, lighthearted commentary. As Tuna replied, it still feels unreal waking up and not hearing Decoy voice blasting on his phone speaker. It's crazy to think that we're all strangers online, but with YouTube videos, sometimes you spend more time with me and other internet personalities more than you do your own family. And this isn't the only time I've heard exactly this, as I've now had two former employees where one said she thought I was hanging out in their living room because she heard my voice, only to see her father was watching me on TV, and the other found out that his father watches me, not knowing that Decoy voice was actually his son's boss, which is actually cool to know, as my channel strategy is kinda catered to a TikTok attention span, with much of my audience being younger, but then to also know that my employees, Tuna's father, and possibly even you, are much older, but still find value in concise, lighthearted commentary over the alternative of only consuming misleading mainstream news or having to doom scroll on social media to try to find the truth. So other longtime channel subscribers wanted to know more about my background, asking what age did I get political, did I change parties, or what exactly made me a Republican. As I will openly admit, I am not a Republican, as there's plenty of politicians with an R next to their name that do nothing to represent me or my interests. I would probably classify myself as Americans first, not even America first, as I'm sure the country has interests that have nothing to do with me or any of my American neighbors. And as for what age did I get political, it was only because of this channel, as sadly the lockdown somehow tied health and medicine to politics. And if I didn't want to get a mandatory medical procedure, I would lose my job, and somehow whatever stance I had regarding health either made me a good little liberal or a dangerous far-right conservative. So my background was just a regular guy with a regular job that simply wasn't afraid to speak out on the blatant hypocrisy and literal redefining of words, or to force you into enriching billion-dollar corporations that were immune to lawsuits. Other questions came in asking who inspired me to make the channel, or what keeps me motivated, or if there was a specific event that made me want to do this full time. And my answer is gonna sound selfish, but it's just something I like doing. I enjoy scrolling through social media, and when I latch onto something that doesn't seem right, I actually like digging through things to find the lie or to find the contradiction. My previous position included interviews to conclude investigations, and one of my strong suits was immediately detecting what someone didn't want me digging through. And as far as motivation to keep me going, I got this super chat from Tattletale telling me he's 18, but this channel flipped his entire worldview. He always thought the news can't lie, but now he's seeing the truth come to light with this channel. And he wasn't the first or last person to say this to me, but this was kind of that ikigai moment that not many people get in life, where I personally just like investigating and figuring stuff out. I'd say I'm good at it as I close an awful lot of cases in my previous profession, but now more than ever, the world needs to hear the truth, but not everybody has the time to actually find it. As the other half of the question was about a career in YouTube, what made me choose to be a YouTuber, or do I have a background in journalism? And the answer is no. The extent of my journalism career was I once applied to the journalism elective in high school and got rejected. Now that wasn't the moment I decided to prove them wrong, as I never cared about school, was a terrible student, and just kinda aimlessly floated through life. The YouTube journey only started when I made a channel for a friend's brother. He was an excellent public speaker, and I once had a marketing internship, so I figured I'd make him a podcast. Though I think within a month he got a job offer he couldn't refuse, so when he dropped off, I catered the show to a comedian friend I had. He dropped off, and I had a total of 3 other co-hosts before that channel officially closed forever. But since I still had all the equipment, another YouTuber suggested I start over and make the channel covering current events. So when I started the solo project in Decoy Voice, people actually started listening. And getting serious for a second, a lot of questions wanted to know, what's the work like? Why did your channel see such exponential growth? And do you have any tips for growing on YouTube? Helping people grow on YouTube is actually a passion of mine, as I think a lot of people have the potential to be the next big thing on the platform, and it's much easier than they think. Now, last time I said something like this, my inbox got flooded with questions, so I'll clarify. I do help channels break out, but it is very rare, and it's because I know you in real life, or see a unique potential and make contact first. But the good thing is, you don't need me. YouTube doesn't hire you, you just do it. I just recommend these 2 cheap books, starting with The YouTube Formula by Daryl Eves. Just read it knowing it's a sales funnel to other things you don't necessarily need. The first half is just to pump you up into a YouTube career, and the second half is 4-year-old information written for an algorithm that no longer exists. But what it does teach you is how to align your personal and channel goals alongside YouTube's goals as a platform. And it also sheds light on how to approach analyzing your own performance metrics. Now, it is a sales funnel into other paid services I personally don't think you need to be successful, as there is one thing, but not until much later. I just suggest this second and only other book, Blue Ocean Strategy. It has nothing to do with YouTube, it's just this business book that teaches consumer-side innovation. Pretty much how I derived concise, lighthearted commentary from a sea of channels that gave long-winded rants to maximize cash on ads. As sure, if you're the first to market, you'll always have a place as a trailblazer of an industry, but being the 999th clone of something that took off 9 years ago is not a path to success, as even my approach is dated compared to these new and emerging channels, since YouTube used to be about total watch time, then turned to average watch percentage, and now platform-specific viewership. So I say if you want to do YouTube, read YouTube Formula, read Blue Ocean Strategy, then just release a lot of content. Super Eyepatch Wolf had a great video once he hit 1 million subscribers, where he did a deep dive on all the scumbag creators that sell social media success courses. I could ramble about YouTube success forever, I just hope everybody that wants it, gets it. But again, you don't need anybody, just make content, analyze your performance, and make new content accordingly. But on to lighthearted questions, asking about that chonky cat, sometimes in the background, how many cats have I owned in my life, and what is my favorite cheese? Aligning these questions isn't a Korean joke, because that chonky cat sometimes seen in the background is named Cheddar. He used to come in my office quite frequently, but he's 15 now, so he mainly just sleeps on his cat perch falling around his sunbeam. He was once youthful and thin, but those days are gone now, and if you've ever seen me carry him on the live stream, you'd know he hates being held now. but I think it's more of his bones being old and achy, so maybe we'll get lucky and he'll wander into a live stream, but I wouldn't count on it, as I've had 3 cats in my lifetime, and none of them have reached geriatric status, so I'm just trying to let him chill, eat churro, and do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, while I pay for it like a filthy peasant. Now, I did get a lot of questions about food, my favorite pizza, and that I should do a mukbang video. But honestly, I don't know if I want to eat on livestream, as I did do that one 8-hour live on election night where all I managed to do was eat a salad, and even that felt weird. But the best kept secret in pizza toppings is honey. Right next to where I moved to is this pizza place that does it, and now I can't get enough. Randy asks, what's 12 times 11? No cheating. But that's easy, it's 111. Are you into any stocks lately? Never take financial advice from a guy internationally known as not a math Asian. As if I suddenly sell out and pitch you the Decoy coin crypto. All I'm gonna do is turn your $5,000 into my $5,000. So no, don't ever take advice from a guy that's simultaneously never pronounced simultaneously correct, but also didn't know well into his 30s. This is how it's pronounced? Simultanesthesia? But the easier questions were about video games. What am I playing? What's my favorite? Any Japanese RPGs from the 90s in particular, or any tabletop role-playing games? I honestly never got into those. I know up in Seattle it seemed everybody was into board games, but I could just never get into it. But I still play GTA 5 offline, and I'm really getting into Mario Kart World on the Switch too. But the ultimate JRPG is Chrono Trigger for the Super Nintendo. When I first played it, I was too young to understand special moves and potions, so I just mashed the attack button, but once I came back to it as an adult, this game, despite the 90s technology, is still one of the greatest gaming experiences ever. And the one JRPG that nobody expects is MLB Power Pros 2008 on the Wii. Beyond the simple baseball game was this insane story mode where you make a character that has to get a job, go to workouts, and even date to try to make it in the MLB. You get cut from teams, get betrayed by friends. It's beyond bizarre, but I just hope one day Nintendo brings back the franchise in English. People also asked who I like in the MLB, if I think the Dodgers will win it again. Now, I'd say I'm a Dodger fan right now, but honestly I was more of a Shohei Ohtani fan than anything. And just tonight I saw the Dodgers sweep the Reds with their bullpen still struggling to do anything, but I still think they can win it all. I did see a lot of posts asking about a P.O. box, how people want to send me stuff, but honestly I don't think I'll ever do a mail me stuff video. Aside from the risks from insane leftists that don't like me sending who knows what, judging by fan art, even that's not great, as the art is alright, but Rika the news? It's only marginally better than the mean stuff I get calling me controlled opposition, where the only good art I received was from over 2 years ago from Captain DN drawing me in the style of Yu Yu Hakusho. But with AI advancements, fan art is going to become obsolete, as obviously this is a one-to-one rendition of me and my physique if I fought in the Dark Tournament, where sadly AI advancements are already replacing a lot of human jobs. A lot of the graphic design stuff I need no longer needs to be outsourced to who knows what country. And you probably didn't even notice, but most of the background music for this video was AI generated, including this song to the congratulatory comments asking, how can we get you to 2 million subscribers? Asking if there's anybody I hope to collaborate with in the future, and do I have any specific goals for the channel? And now I find myself at a bizarre crossroads. As I've said before, I've always kind of floated through life doing whatever, so beyond 1 million subscribers, I don't necessarily know what's next. 2 million doesn't seem as significant, and 10 million doesn't seem likely. So maybe I go the Tim Pool route, and go out and buy myself a NASCAR team. Now I don't have Timcast type money, so maybe I just go out and buy the WNBA's San Diego Riptide. I don't imagine it costs that much to lose money like that, but then I just Joanna Man the entire roster and proceed to dominate the league for decades. And if anybody complains, you're making a mockery of women's basketball, just know you didn't even notice I made up the San Diego Riptide. That team doesn't exist, just like your interest in the WNBA. But maybe I don't want to take on an entire league. Maybe I'll take the path of that MXR Plays guy, eventually adding in a girl to co-host the channel, then moving in a oddly similar second girl, then just going all out with the auditions. What YouTube feudal lord situation does he got going on? As honestly, I don't think I could pull that off. Or maybe I could. But maybe I'll just pull the Sopranos and suddenly end the show without telling you. Nah, I'm not gonna do any of that. I'll probably just bring you more of that same concise, lighthearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, because honestly, it's the only thing I'm good at now. So thanks for hanging out as long as you have, watching the videos, subscribing to the channel, and sharing it with friends, as you turned what was once a small hobby of mine into what really seems like my life's purpose, which has genuinely become a dream come true. So if you're still watching me ramble right now, I truly want to say thank you.